The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
From the top rope, can I kill the roar so loud? Black and gold waving, we're a fearless crowd. Under them lights, the fight burns bright. Greatest team assembled, ready for the fight. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawkeye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands, we shine. The best in the game, and the state is mine. Cover Hawkeyes, working, watch them break that press. Dropping dimes, hitting threes, never second guess. Full court hustle, hit the sneaker side. With the fight in our veins, we wear that pride. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming.
Good evening, everyone. Andrew Barber here with Drew Shipley and Hawk's Eye View, and we're coming off a dominating 37-0 win against Wisconsin. And I didn't quite expect this, Drew. Maybe I did in a way, but I did expect Iowa to win. I just don't know if I expected it to look anything like this. Were you at all really surprised by the result or anything that you saw on Saturday night?
I mean, I would be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. That's the first time Wisconsin's been shut out in Madison since 1980. That's 5 years before I was born, and I turned 40 this year. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, is this rock bottom for this program? Probably, at least in our lifetime, for sure.
Yes, it is. It is rock bottom for the Wisconsin football team. This goes back to like the pre-Alvarez days. I kind of talked about it with Bill last week. Like they sucked during some of the Hayden Fry era until Alvarez showed up. And now it's like they've destroyed everything. And I'm really we'll kind of lead into next week with this. I'm really still surprised that Luke Fickell has a job and James Franklin doesn't. I thought there was no world where Fickell would outlast Franklin, even if it is probably only by like a week or so.
It's a good point. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, radio shows. I've been taking in a lot of local media this week, actually, regarding just the college football landscape. And like Wisconsin and Penn State are like not in the same realm of financial well-being in the football program.
Yeah.
Penn State can fire and hire any coach in the country threefold, any given time.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of rumblings and rumors, and it may be true, maybe not, that Wisconsin doesn't necessarily have the money to buy out Fickell's $28 million and then hire a guy that's going to do a better job. Because you're not only buying out the contract, you're hiring the next guy, right? And as much as Fickell thought, or everybody thought Fickell was a great hire, it wasn't for this program, which is weird to me. Like I don't know. Wouldn't you think over the period of time, then they would just turn into like Cincinnati of the Big Ten, right? Like you would still be recruiting the same players. How long has he been there?
This is year 4.
So, I mean, yeah, this is like no excuses now, right? He's had time to implement his system with what he wants to run with the guys that he wants. And maybe it's just a failure to adapt to the Big Ten of how the Big Ten plays football.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, there's been some anomalies out there with the new Pac-12 folks they're in the Big Ten, right? Of struggling with the classic Big Ten teams, but it's gone the other way too. In some cases,
yeah, I think it's just Wisconsin's gotten so far away from their identity, right? Their identity was ground and pound, be tough, be physical, and Fickle came in year 1 and took all of that out and said, we're going to be air raid. We're going to call ourselves the Dairy Raid. We're going to, we're going to go 4 wide. We're going to play that style of football. And then that just never caught on. That just never materialized and didn't really have the personnel to do any of that ever. Mm-hmm. So, and we saw that. I heard Swarmcast David Eichholt put it this way. Wisconsin's offense is where Iowa's offense was a couple of years ago, but without the defense and the special teams. That's where Wisconsin is. They're averaging like 7 points per game in conference play, Drew, like under 7 points per game. And meanwhile, Iowa's averaging more than Oregon. We're averaging 30 points per game in conference play, and Oregon is not averaging that. Now, granted, it's a little bit deceiving with the teams that we've played in conference play, but we're not down there at the bottom like we were a couple of years ago, regardless of who we played. So,
Wisconsin's in literal hell right now. That's for sure. I mean, I can imagine being a fan of that program, And you're right, because I remember how miserable we were in 21 and 22.
But we
or 23 rather, not 21.
We were kind of miserable with the offense, but we were still winning. We're still finding ways to win. Like Wisconsin, if you look at the rest of their schedule, there's a world where they don't win a game on the rest of their schedule. They're at 3 wins. They're going to end up 3-9 or 4-8 at best. They're hosting Ohio State this weekend, and they're almost 4 touchdown underdogs. That's where they are as a program right now. So, yeah, I'm glad we're not there. 2 programs going in opposite directions there with Iowa and Wisconsin, I would say.
Yeah.
Iowa trending up, Wisconsin trending down.
But yeah, as far as the game and the matchup was concerned, though, to answer your question, I was surprised. I was surprised for different reasons, though. Like leaving Gronowski in as long as they did with a big ass lead like that didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the shutout speaks for itself. I mean, God, what did they run for? They run for over 300 as a team?
I don't think we quite ran for over 300. Definitely over 2.
Yeah.
Some of that is skewed by like the short fields.
Right.
So that's going to drive that number down. I would say I'm looking it up kind of as we speak.
Sure.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I think they just wanted to get him in a rhythm, but with the injury and Penn State, I don't think you risk further injury in that scenario. I didn't like it either. Yeah. I'm glad. It sounds like nothing further happened to Mark Gronowski, so it was a little bit weird, though. I've heard some talk, saw in some highlights there where maybe Gronowski wasn't very comfortable running. So that's something to look at this week as we go forward and play Penn State is we're going to need him to be truly healthy and ready to go. So,
well, now that they're back, but
let's
now that
answer
they're
your question.
and now that they're back into weekly play, though, like I don't think he's going to get any more healthy than he already is now, right?
Yeah, probably not, Drew. I know that he's really diligent at being at the training table and doing all those kinds of things. I think it can kind of get better over time. It might be one of those injuries where it just kind of heals over time. Like I don't know. It's really hard to say without knowing what the injury is or what the extent of it is or anything. We really haven't heard anything about that.
Right.
We really have no idea. We know it's a knee, but we really have no idea the extent of which that knee is injured. So it's just really tough to say, I guess.
Sure.
We ran for 200 yards on Saturday night, 210 yards. We ran for 4 touchdowns. Mark Gronowski had another touchdown to the total, although that probably should have been an Aaron Graves touchdown. Aaron Graves was very close to having a big man pick 6. So
yeah.
Hey, that was nice seeing the D-line doughboys come through. Instead of the defensive back doughboys, it's the D-line doughboys. So that was nice.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, arrow punting up for sure. We talked about this a little bit offline, how I don't want to dwell too much on the past, but really we're a couple plays, couple injuries really away from undefeated. Like,
yeah.
I think we can all say, look on that Indiana game and kind of say, had we kept Gronowski in there, if he had been able to stay in, probably can do enough to bring home the win. And also just where we are now with the running game, I think having Moulton in that Iowa State game would have been kind of a big difference, just given the way that Moulton runs. And we didn't have Xavier Williams, I believe. So we played like Jazz Patterson and TJ Washington a lot in that Iowa State game. We didn't have Moulton or Williams.
Right.
I think Williams played limited. Can't really remember the status there, but again, moving on, doesn't matter. We still have a lot in front of us, so let's kind of turn the page to this week where we face Penn State, which before the season, you're thinking this is a potential, at least a top 10 team coming to Kinnick and Penn State, and instead we have a 3-3. James Franklin is fired. Drew Aller is out for the season. Penn State, so it's a disastrous scenario for the Nittany Lions. So, what do you expect from Penn State coming into this Saturday, Drew?
I used to be really good at math, Andrew.
Yeah.
And I was always taught that a negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm kind of concerned for where the Hawkeyes sit in this scenario of new voice in the locker room, rally around the backup quarterback. That Penn State roster still paper to paper is a better roster than Iowa from top to bottom, right? I don't think that's a debate. There's still a whole bunch of 4 and 5 star guys on that squad, and they're wounded, right? So I don't know. I'm really nervous about the matchup because it makes too much sense. Everything lines up for a big Hawkeye victory over Penn State, and everybody's like, well, yeah, you beat them because they fired their coach and Drew Allar's out for the year. Well, first off, Drew Aller didn't play that well this year when he was healthy. He wasn't that great, in my opinion. So, I mean, different voice in the locker room, different QB. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I understand the nerves. I understand that angle. Um, at the same time, it's a difficult Kinnick at night is a difficult place to play. Even if you are a very talented team, we've seen that before. I don't think Kirk Ferentz is going to let this Iowa team like lose focus. You know, they're going to be very focused. He's been very dialed in on the fact that Penn State's still good. They still have a lot of talent. Everything's still in front of them. They want to right the ship, all those kinds of things. Yeah, I don't know. I think Kirk will have the boys ready to play this week, and I don't know. There's just a lot of unknown. I'd say Iowa's getting better, but we're gonna have to see the offense at its best probably this week.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see a better passing game than what we saw against Wisconsin. Although we didn't really need the passing game against Wisconsin.
No.
So that's why the numbers look the way that they did. But you will need a balanced offense against Penn State. I think this is a little bit less daunting now. Obviously, like you said, Drew Aller, maybe not good, but I don't know that Penn State really counted on having to go to Ethan Grunkmeyer or Jackson Smolik. And it could be a situation where they have to play both of them. That could be really wild and interesting. Jackson Smolik, for those of you who don't know, Dowling Catholic grad, and is now at Penn State as one of their backup quarterbacks. So I'm interested in that. And yeah, I'm just interested on. We haven't really heard a lot about Penn State guys opting out or anything like that. I mean, at this point in time, though, like red shirts are burned for a lot of guys. If they wanted a red shirt, they couldn't red shirt because they're 6 games in and they played. Senior laden team too. So I don't know. Are you looking for anything that way and maybe some surprise opt-outs or I don't know. I'm really not.
Actually, I'm going to go the other way. So I was listening to Off the Bench with Sean and Lucas this afternoon, and they had Tyler Kluver on, right, with washed up walk-ons. And, you know, he's been in the locker room, you know, for the Hawkeyes, and they kind of asked him about, like, the approach or whatever of possibly, you know, loss of a head coach or a downed player, a down starting player, like how teams can rally behind that. And Tyler's primary point, which I agree with, is they might not necessarily opt out of the season, but they would go the other way to where they're wanting to put their best film on tape now as an audition to transfer in December. They have reason to play harder, quote unquote, or play their best ball now with eligibility remaining instead of quitting on the season. So I guess the premise of his point was they'd be more motivated to put better game film on tape for their future, whether they look elsewhere, NFL scouts, more individually driven goals now, which I mean can be dangerous. So I agree to Tyler's point in that regard.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a good point. That can be dangerous because everybody's just looking to get theirs. In that scenario, you're not playing as a cohesive unit. Sure, there's a lot of guys who are talented. I'm thinking the running backs, Allen, Singleton, those are talented guys. Devontae Ross is an old familiar friend that we know of. I don't know if the quarterback play will be good enough to exploit Iowa like we did against Troy with Devontae Ross there. But he is a dynamic playmaker, and they have Kyron Hudson and they have Trevor Pena, who were, again, all these guys were billed highly before the season. It was supposed to be an offense that lit the world on fire, and it just hasn't been that. And I've heard some talk about how Penn State's play calling was predictable under Franklin. So I don't know if you can in 1 week really implement a whole lot, but I do expect certainly some new like wrinkles from Penn State on Saturday. I expect some new concepts, not the same old things that you put on tape. I mean, I think it'll be a lot of the same when it comes to their offense and their defense. I mean, how could it not be? But I think Iowa should be ready for them to kind of pull out all the stops, because it's for them, it's season's on the line. It's all thoughts for them of the playoffs are out the window, just given who they've lost to.
That's right.
But I don't think they're gonna just roll over and die necessarily, unless, we have a situation like last Saturday night where Iowa was just up 17-0 right out of the gate. Then Penn State might quit. If they're down 17 points in Kinnick right away, they might quit. But I don't, barring that, I don't really see Penn State just kind of giving up, rolling over. I do think this is a less attractive matchup for me as a fan. I really wanted top 10 Penn State and the chance to knock off top 10 Penn State. So, but we're not getting that.
Yeah, I did too. I really did.
Because I was thinking about going, and now I'm leaning towards not going, because why do I want to go hang out for the whole Saturday? I mean, Iowa City is awesome, but I don't know. It's just not the same allure for me, given that they.
I mean, the tickets went down by half 2 weeks ago to now. They're under $70 to go to Kinnick. I've been looking.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. Let's talk about this from the Iowa angle, because you look at the rest this game and then the rest of the schedule. I don't want to get too far ahead, but we're fans. We can do that, right? We're not players. We can think ahead.
Yep.
I think both of us had 9-3 coming into the year. I think that looks more doable, even with two losses, than it looked a few weeks ago, just given that the way Penn State looks, Oregon took their lumps against Indiana, and like Iowa played Indiana a little bit tighter than Oregon did.
A little bit tighter. They should have won the fucking game.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't say that about Oregon and the way they played against Indiana. Like I said, Indiana might have been and might be the best team that Iowa plays this year, because they're top 5 now?
They're number 3, I think, aren't they?
Yeah. They belong there because they're that good. Just looking at Iowa's schedule again, you thought Penn State, Oregon would be daunting games, and given that they're at home and the way those teams have looked, it's a lot less daunting. I don't want to project that Iowa's going to win out, but if they did win out, I mean,
that's playoff.
Playoff is on the table. Right?
Yeah.
10-2. Playoff is up. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not going to go out there and predict it, but it's still out there. And I don't think that's being talked about enough, because I think Iowa should think that way and believe that they're going to win every game from here on out and maybe make a run at things.
I think so. I don't see why not. Like, I've been talking amongst my friends too. I said 2 weeks ago, who would have thought that Iowa, not Iowa State, would have a path to the college football playoff?
Oh yeah. I mean, that seemed inconceivable.
Yeah.
How everything has changed in 2-3 weeks.
Now you're right.
Iowa State's
now you're right. Now you're right back, baby, with two winnable games, and where we thought they were going to both be top 5 teams.
Yeah. And Another thing that's kind of going Iowa's way is Vanderzee came back on Saturday night. He played like 27 snaps, caught a couple passes. He's kind of getting back into it after that leg injury. And he was Gronowski's maybe most trusted guy, we thought, throughout fall camp.
Mm-hmm.
I think he even went on record and said as much that he trusts Vanderzee a lot. So that's something that I think we need to watch this weekend is how much does Reese Vanderzee play along with Mark's health. I think Iowa getting some guys back and healthy on offense, specifically at that wide receiver spot, could give them a little boost.
Yep.
We need that passing game. And yeah, if we can have Vanderzee as a red zone threat, if we get into the red zone this weekend, I think that is a pretty huge boost for the Iowa offense.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, like you said, it's the word is trending. I like that word, trending. It's trending well.
Yeah.
It's trending well.
The only injury that's not going in our favor is Jazz is still out this weekend, I think. We're deep at the running back spot though, so I'm not overly concerned about that one. Just Xavier Williams looked awesome. Moulton, we know what he can do. Nathan McNeil has shown the flashes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not terribly concerned about the running back position as long as those three guys are healthy and ready to roll.
Yep.
I think Iowa's good there.
Absolutely.
The offensive line continued their dominant ways. They're going to be huge on Saturday, I think, as well. I talked about it with Bill. I don't know if we've brought it up together, Drew, but remember when we were worried about the left tackle spot?
Yeah.
Trevor Lauk's been like one of our best offensive linemen, according to PFF grades and other things. I mean, he's been just a fine college left tackle. So is Jack Dotzler when Dotzler's been in there. I think Lauk's been a little bit better, but there hasn't been a lot separating them, but they've both been fine when they're in there. I haven't noticed a glaring weakness there like we thought there would be. TJ Hall's been awesome. Entringer's been awesome. Montgomery looked good filling in for Harrell. Montgomery looked just fine.
Yeah.
I hope that's a more permanent change there with Montgomery in there. Yeah, I like Jaden Harrell as a person. Don't get me wrong, but I like Jaden Montgomery in there. So, anybody else individually, offense, defense, that kind of stood out to you from the Wisconsin game or the Indiana game? I don't think we got to talk about that. Anybody?
No, I took a sabbatical for a couple weeks. Wrapping up my middle school football season Monday night. Not individually standing out. Like, I mean, I guess the last couple weeks defensively as a unit has just been what we've come to expect year in and year out from Phil Parker. Like no like shown weakness like consistently, right? Like get beat a play or two, but like nothing wildly explosive, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a unit defensively, I guess would be where I would go with the last couple weeks of they're just playing really good team football.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, we were worried about that second corner spot. I think we can still maybe be a little worried, but TJ Hall has stepped up in a big way.
Yeah,
I've loved what I've seen out of him. Maybe not the most dominant because he's not lighting it up by getting a bunch of interceptions. But he's still doing his thing with breaking up a lot of passes and kind of locking down that side of the field. We haven't been beat in the past game. Also, Phil's done awesome things with blitzing a lot more this year.
Yeah.
And that's been a huge help. And I think he's going to do that against relatively inexperienced quarterback. I think he's going to try to light him up with some blitzes this week and, try to cause turnovers like we did against Wisconsin. I think the talent of quarterback that we're going against this week is probably better than what we saw against Wisconsin, even with the inexperience.
Yeah, probably.
But I won't be too surprised if Phil will have something good cooked up, and that's the other thing that gives me a lot of confidence going into this week. I think Phil knows how to rattle an inexperienced quarterback. So,
okay.
And so does the Kinnick crowd. I get them backed up in the north end zone a couple times, and our old friend Bill Blank will take care of them. So,
what do you mean by take care of him?
I'll try not to get Bill wanted or anything. Now we'll see Bill in the news again with his picture with his guns out there, and he's screaming and
with his Caitlin Clark jersey.
Yeah, he's going nuts. Yeah, we'll see Bill going nuts this weekend. You can book it. That's 100% guaranteed. Is that Bill will be standing up in the north end zone on the bleachers, yelling full volume. You can guarantee that. But yeah, so that's good. I think, Drew, if you got anything else you want to talk about football related before we hit up a break?
I don't think so.
All right, we're gonna hit up a break, and then we're gonna come back and do all the predictions. We're going to talk men's, women's basketball, and give our Iowa football prediction for this weekend. So we'll be right back.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
Gentlemen, let's be honest. Finding the perfect gift for your wife or girlfriend isn't always easy. You want something thoughtful, stylish, and unique. And that's exactly what you'll find at Styled by JJ Boutique. Julia Bradshaw and her team strive to be your go-to boutique for casual, boho, and chic clothing and accessories, helping women elevate their style one piece at a time. Located right here in Johnston, Iowa, Styled by JJ brings trendy, high-quality fashion that boosts confidence without breaking the bank. So, if you're looking for a gift that says, I get you, instead of I tried, head to Styled by JJ Boutique. Because nothing makes her smile like feeling beautiful. Styled by JJ Boutique, where style meets confidence. Visit our Johnston location or shop online at styledbyjjboutique.com.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman, Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
All right, welcome back. Thanks to all of our sponsors. And we had a little bit of Hawkeye-related breaking news.
I know what it is.
Yeah. Keegan Murray, new NBA deal, 5 years, $140 million. with an extension with the Kings. So nice little deal there for Keegan. Hope to see him kind of bounce back in a big way this season. It's been last year was a little rough for him. The shooting wasn't there. It's kind of in and out, dealing with a new coach, all those kinds of things. Maybe a little more stability this year. I don't know. But he's locked in now for another 5 years with the Sacramento Kings, and it's a good thing. It's good to see an NBA guy from Iowa, and we can transition into talking about another NBA guy, Bennett Sturtz.
I mean, before we move on, though, there is slightly bad news that we heard about Keegan Murray earlier this week as well. He has a torn UCL ligament in his hand.
Yeah, he'll miss about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. And when it's your hand and you're a shooter, there is some cause for concern, at least for the season, the end season portion of the injury. So coming back from that, but he can count $140 million all the way to the bank, so he'll be okay.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know how big of an NBA fan you are, Drew. I watch the NBA a lot. I usually get League Pass. Don't know if I'm gonna this year, but NBA season starts next Tuesday, actually.
Well, I wouldn't have known it, and the reason probably why is LeBron's going to be out the first 8 to 10 weeks, so that's great. That's fucking great. I like that a lot.
Oh, we still have Luka Doncic though, so don't worry. Still have Nikola Jokic, still have Shea, and we still have Wemby.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a LeBron fan.
Oh, I gotcha.
This is where I was going with that.
I'm not a hardcore LeBron fan, but I certainly respect the guy.
Yeah, what did you think of his second announcement?
Okay, that was a little much, a little over the top. Do you know why LeBron's going to be out, though? This is the most old man thing. Sciatica.
And his ass, right?
Yeah, sciatica.
Yeah.
So
just hanging up.
That's the most old man injury you could ever have. Yeah. All right. Well, we can move on. Talk about Bennett Sturtz and the boys. Did our basketball preview with Iowa Hoops Dave, or Tyler, as he goes by now, a couple weeks ago. You can check that out if you want some more.
He goes by Tyler now? What the fuck happened?
That's his actual name. Iowa Hoops Dave was like a burner pseudonym that he went by. So he has morphed.
Some weird shit.
He has morphed into a new stage of his life. So respect him. Respect him from coming away and out of the burners and putting his name on everything.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Love having him on the show.
Put your name on it.
He does. Yeah, but wanted to go on the record with some predictions like we do every year. Don't want to take too long on this because I'll be honest, I don't know nearly enough about all of our opponents this season. I've read up a good deal, but I haven't gone into my college basketball preseason podcasting mode where I consume all the college basketball podcasts out there. Not quite there yet. So,
and they don't really, and college basketball doesn't really have a Phil Steele version of like Basketball Preview magazine, do they?
I mean, they do. It's just not as widely read. I might have to go pick up a copy to brush up on my college basketball. There is college basketball preview magazines, just like there's college football preview magazines.
I'm just saying, is it like as well revered as like the Phil Steele?
Probably not.
Football?
Probably not.
No.
But it exists. It's out there. All right, we'll start with the men. Their season kicks off on November 4th. A hype. It's a new era. Don't really know exactly what to expect with the new era here. Brought in a lot of good players. Bennett Sturts being the main one. Brendan Hassan and Alvaro Folgueras being a couple others, along with the Drake guys that you'll remember. So expect a different brand of basketball, but we'll see what happens here in year one.
Wait, hey, didn't somebody? Oh, yeah, there was some slightly other breaking news from last weekend as well, and this ties into Iowa men's basketball.
Oh yeah,
Tavion Banks acting a fool.
Yeah, that's I mean, isn't that kind of a thing that happens on a lot of college campuses every weekend?
It seems like it happens in Iowa City like once every 3 years.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it against him. I think the punishment will be and should be minimal.
What do you think? What do you think it is?
He doesn't play in game one.
One game?
Yeah, he doesn't play in game one against Robert Morris.
Now, what was he actually charged with? Was he charged with anything, or was it just disorderly?
Just disorderly, just a very simple misdemeanor kind of thing. It's a lesson that you need to learn as a young man, and you just take it and move on.
Listen, my guy, this isn't the east side of Des Moines. This is Iowa City.
Yeah.
Get it together.
It's all right. I have faith that Ben McCollum can get it right, can get it together. So
I'm sure. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw all the breaking news out there. I remembered that from this weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to gloss over it, I promise. But I started by giving both of us wins against the bye games, Drew. So I think we can skip the bye games, the Robert Morris, the Chicago States of the world.
Okay.
Unless you object.
No.
Okay. Then we'll start with probably the first game where I think there's some sort of a toss-up. Xavier and Richard Pitino, Rick Pitino's son, come to town in November. That will be an interesting game. I don't exactly know who's on the Xavier roster, but in basketball, Big East is considered a power conference. So Xavier's a power conference program. They come to Carver in November. So Iowa, Xavier at home. I'm leaning win.
I am too, because Richard Pitino is really good at losing at Carver Hawkeye. So
love it. And then kind of the next bump in the road is the tournament, the Thanksgiving tournament, that Acrisure series that Iowa finds himself in. Their opening opponent is Ole Miss, and then they play, depending on if they win or they lose, then it depends on who wins and loses the game between Grand Canyon and Utah. So they're playing Ole Miss for sure, and or Grand Canyon and Utah. I'm going to give Iowa a win over Ole Miss. A lot of people will say, what are you doing? Ole Miss was in the Sweet 16. I don't think they bring back the core of that roster from the Sweet 16 team, but it's a lot of different transfers. Still have Chris Beard there, who is a very good coach. So it won't be easy, but I think Iowa wins against Ole Miss.
So I'm just going to go on record and say that I think this tournament's going to be a split.
Okay.
And I am going to go with Ole Miss being the loss. I sure as hell wouldn't be sleeping on Grand Canyon or Utah, though. Grand Canyon is legit.
No, they're going to be legit this year. They're going to be an NCAA tournament team, and I think they've actually moved up to the Mountain West now.
They have.
Yeah.
Talk about like a meteoric rise to Division I sports for Grand Canyon. I mean, and they have some big names for coaching too, if I recall correctly. I can't remember who the damn head coach is for the basketball program right now.
Bryce Drew.
Thank you. That's right. Yeah.
Bryce Drew. Yeah.
So I'll say that we lose to Ole Miss and we beat the loser of the Utah Grand Canyon game. Saying all that.
All right. I'm going to go 2 wins. You're going loss win. I think we'll beat the winner of Grand Canyon, Utah instead. And then it ratchets up real nicely because we go to Michigan State for our next game. I don't like East Lansing as a whole as an Iowa fan. I'll go ahead and put a loss here for the first loss of the year.
And which would be like would that be like the 4th straight season that Iowa goes 0-1 in the Big Ten openers?
Yeah, something like that.
Because we always play a tough Big Ten opener before New Year's Day, which I think is bullshit. It's either like Indiana or at Purdue or some bullshit.
Purdue comes to town, at Michigan.
At Wisconsin when they were like perennial top 15.
Yeah. Well,
and
Wisconsin.
Go ahead.
Wisconsin might be back there this year. I'm pretty high on the Wisconsin team.
Okay. But I'm just going to say because it's the early season Big Ten game, I think they lose it as well. I think if this game was played more in February and down the stretch of bubble season, I think that's a game that they can win just because of the, like you said, like pretty much brand new roster, new head coach. You're going to have your identity by then, but like it's going to take some time, I think, for this team to win like meaningful games.
Yeah, I would agree. The next game is we host the Maryland Terrapins. So there's our second Big Ten game. It's first year of a new coach from Maryland. They have Buzz Williams now. So a lot of guys transferred out, a lot of guys transferred in from Texas A&M and all over the place. I think Miles Rice is their point guard, and then I think they brought in Pharrell Payne, who was the center at Texas A&M, and then Solomon Washington too. Beyond that, I don't know, but I will take a win here. I think Iowa's roster will have kind of gelled by this time, and I think we'll put up a win to start Big Ten play 1-1.
I'll agree with that just for the fact that it's in Carver. If it was out at the Xfinity Center in College Park, I would go the other way probably. But yeah, I'll take the Hawks in that one.
All right. Next game is at Hilton.
Loss.
Cyhawk series.
Loss.
I am not high on this Iowa State team. I think their guard play will leave a lot to be desired. I think Lipsy, injured right now, has sustained a lot of injuries. I think Iowa has the better point guard. We're winning in Hilton this year.
I can't bring myself to do it. I don't think so.
We're going to Hilton. We're pulling off a win this year.
That would be great. They need to start recovering from the ass whooping that they've put on us for the rest of the Cyhawk series already.
Yeah.
Iowa State might already have it wrapped up. I don't know. I'll take a look while we keep going.
Okay. Then it's a slew of bye games. Western Michigan, Bucknell, UMass Lowell, UCLA coming to town. UCLA is going to be a really good team this year. They brought in Donovan Dent from New Mexico to kind of pair with Sky Clark, and they still have a lot of the guys from last year's squad. It's in Carver, though. I think I'll take an Iowa win here.
I think there's just going to be too much talent in UCLA. I would take the Bruins here. I feel like I'm Debbie Downer.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Minnesota, their first year of the Nico Medved experience. So Iowa has a first-year coach. There's quite a few first-year head coaches in the Big Ten that we'll face. So we already faced one in Maryland, and we'll face another here with Nico Medved. I don't think Minnesota has the guys on the roster from what they brought in necessarily to compete with Iowa. It's at Minnesota, gives me some pause, but I think Iowa will win this.
That's a win for the Hawks. Yeah.
Home against Illinois. Tomislav Ivicic is back. Yakachunas left. A lot of international flavor to Illinois these days. I'm not sure who else they have on that roster. I think Boswell might be back. This will be a good rivalry, but I think Iowa's due for a win in this rivalry. Give me the Hawks with the W.
It's in Champaign?
What?
It's in Champaign?
No, it's in Iowa City.
Okay. I'll take
It's
the Hawks.
in Iowa City.
I'll take the Hawks.
Yeah. Sorry, should have mentioned that from the get-go. Then the next game is at Purdue, who's probably one of the favorites to win the national title. Mackey is a house of horrors. I love this team. I think they'll compete, but this ultimately ends in a loss.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Purdue is going to be really good this year.
And
at Indiana,
and then they'll get bounced in the round of 32 like they always fucking do. So
I hope not. I hope this is actually the year that Purdue actually breaks through and goes deep. They did make the national
title game
with Edie 2 years ago.
2 years ago, that's right.
Yeah, they made the title game. They got destroyed in the title game, but they were there. Yeah, I think they'll be right back in that conversation. At Indiana, it's their first year. I know there's been a lot of hype about their roster, but I think Iowa is going to walk into Assembly Hall and take that one.
No, I don't think so. I think Darren DeVries is gonna get that one.
All right. Well, I'll give Iowa the win anytime we play Indiana for the next however many years. Probably 2 years that Darren DeVries will last. We'll see.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to work out for him.
We'll see. Could last a couple of years. He'll move on to the next thing. Then we host Rutgers. Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, gone. Give me a win.
Yep.
Here. We host USC. I think USC has a lot of talent. I honestly do not know enough about their roster to say that. I might be talking out of my butt right now. But I'll go ahead since it's in Carver and give us a win.
I know nothing about USC as well. And we're not talking women and Juju Watkins, and she's out for the year anyway. But give me Iowa.
Yeah, they brought in Baker Mazzara. They brought in Rodney Rice. Yeah, give me Iowa here still, though. Jacob Kofi, that's someone that a lot of people are high on. But, yeah, let's both take Iowa. Oregon, they brought back Biddle and Shellstad. I think this is a well-coached team. Give me a loss against Dana Altman and the Oregon Ducks, unfortunately.
In Eugene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a loss as well.
Washington had an interesting game with them last year. I know that they brought in some transfers as well. I think a couple from USC, actually, but I think Iowa is going to be good enough to overcome this road environment here in Washington, so give me a win.
I'm going to take a win as well. I don't think they get swept on the West Coast on that trip.
Yeah. Northwestern at home.
Win.
I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have Boo Booey anymore.
On the road at Maryland. Boo Booey's been gone for a couple of years. Still have Martinelli, who's kind of annoying, but on the road at Maryland, I think Buzz Williams will have this team geared up and ready to play. And if my predictions are anywhere to accurate, Iowa might be ranked. So give me Maryland to win.
I'm taking Maryland to win as well. That place is rocking when they have a decent team.
Yeah. And then we get to host Purdue in Iowa City. I want to pick a win, but this Purdue team they're real. They're very good. So give me a loss there in Iowa City against Purdue.
So you're saying that this supposed ranked Iowa team at this point of the season is going to lose the next 3 out of 4?
I have them winning.
Because you had them losing at Oregon, winning at Washington, losing at Maryland, losing at home to Purdue.
I have back-to-back wins at Washington, home against Northwestern. So,
okay.
2 and 3, 2 and 3 there.
I think I think this is Iowa's biggest win of the season. I think they actually knock off Purdue at home. It's gonna be an electric show. Braden Smith and yeah, it's gonna be good. Ben Sturts.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of great matchups for us because we got Sturts Smith twice, and then also we get the matchup against Donovan Dent and UCLA. Then we host Nebraska. And this has revenge all over it for Iowa, especially with Price Sanford being there. I'm going to go win.
I think so as well. And didn't Fred just get an extension, even though he was on the hot seat last year?
He did.
Go Big Fred. You can fucking stay there all we want. Stay there, bud.
Yeah. This isn't the Fran era. I think McCollum will own Fred Hoiberg. So at Wisconsin next, I think the Badgers are very good this year. Give me Wisconsin.
Yeah. Historically at the Kohl Center has not gone well in my entire lifetime. So
yeah,
I'll take Wisconsin as well.
Love that.
You
Ohio
that?
State home. I'm going to win. I don't love that. Sorry. Kind of a slip of the tongue there.
What did you say the game was? You're breaking up a little bit.
Ohio State at home is next.
Iowa Hawks.
Yeah. At Penn State, I think this is a big rebuilding year for them. Win. All right. And then the next game is home against Michigan. Michigan is probably the other title favorite in the Big Ten. They are going to be very much improved this year. But I think this is going to be Iowa's biggest win of the year. I think we're going to knock off the Michigan Wolverines at home here in and it's in March. I think we're going to kick off March the right way by beating Michigan at home.
I'm going the other way.
All right. You picked the Purdue win, so we'll trade places here.
Yes.
At Nebraska to finish the season, I still think Iowa wins at Nebraska.
I agree.
All right. I can't. Give me 1 second here. Got to do my quick calculations. 31.
Add the columns.
Yeah. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 24-7, which is high.
Yeah.
And then you have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 21-10, which I think is pretty close, pretty accurate. So we'll lock it in there for men's basketball. 24-7 for me, 21-10 for you.
Yeah.
Let's shift to women's basketball. Same thing. I did all the bye games as wins. Let's start with Iowa Drake. It's at home. It's in Carver.
That's a pretty good game. That's a sneaky good game, but I'll take the Hawks.
Yep. I will too. Then at UNI.
Win.
Yep. I think so as well. And then they play in their Thanksgiving tournament, the WBCA Cup, I believe it's called. They play Baylor and Miami. I do not know enough about these teams. I'm going to pick Iowa to win both.
Are the Cavender twins still at Miami?
Not as students, I don't think. Not as basketball players.
Are they only fans?
I have no idea.
Did you get it?
No idea.
Did you get it?
I get it. Wow.
Woo!
Long setup, Drew.
Oh,
it wasn't
weird. It wasn't as long as you thought it was. It's connection issues.
It's true. It's true. But Baylor and Miami.
Hawkeye sweep.
Love it. Then we host Western Illinois and Fairfield at Rutgers. I just assume that Rutgers is bad again, so give me an Iowa win.
Yeah, pretty much since C. Vivian Stringer was there, they've been not very great.
Yep. At Iowa State, Cyhawk, give me an Iowa win here.
Iowa State's technically ranked ahead of Iowa, right? Is it Iowa State 16, Iowa 21?
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. So give me the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I'm not believing in Iowa State women's basketball. Sorry.
Yep.
Then we get to play in the Champions Classic against UConn.
That's a loss.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a loss. I don't think this Iowa roster is built for a game like that.
No.
Home games to kick off the conference season. Oh, I guess we played Rutgers, so that kicked off the conference season. But the home conference season, Penn State, Nebraska, back-to-back. I'm going back-to-back wins.
I don't know anything about this year's Nebraska team. I know in past years they've had some troubles with them. But I'll go ahead and say back-to-back wins as well.
Yeah. They have that Britt Prince, I believe it is. So at Northwestern, I'm going win.
Win.
Then at Indiana, I don't really know enough about the current state of Indiana women's basketball. I think this is probably a winnable game here for Iowa, but I'll go loss just because I'm thinking that Indiana might have something on their team. I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to cautiously say a loss as well. Like, I'm just going to give Indiana the benefit of the doubt being at home and, like, the way that their matchups in the past have gone. Yeah. I mean, no Mackenzie Holmes, so that's good. But
yes. Then we play Oregon and Michigan State at home. I think these are two winnable games, and I'll mark them down as wins.
Go ahead and mark them down for me.
Okay. At Maryland, who I think is going to be one of the better teams in the conference, I'm going to go ahead and take a loss here.
Same.
Ohio State at home. Is Cody McMahon still around?
I don't know, but she's annoying as shit.
Yeah. And then that point guard that they brought in last year is kind of annoying too. I'm assuming that Ohio State has a good roster. I think I'm going to go loss here. Even though it's at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go win because it is at home.
Okay. At USC and at UCLA, Juju's out. I think they had some players transfer out. I think USC is still good, though? Question mark?
They're still both ranked. Yeah, they're still good.
Okay. I'm going to go back-to-back losses here.
I think Iowa finds a way. I feel like Iowa finds a way to split. I don't know which one though.
All right, we'll give you the USC one since Juju's out.
All right, USC, yes.
Minnesota and Washington at home.
Win and win.
Win-win. Yep. All right. And then we finished the year. Oh, no, we are not nearly finished. At Nebraska, I'll go loss here. I think Nebraska is a decent team. I think it's a letdown spot.
Even a Caitlin Clark team lost to Nebraska at Nebraska, so I'll go ahead and take a loss as well.
Yeah. At Purdue, I think they're still bad. I'll go win.
Win.
Yeah. Then we host Michigan and Illinois. I think those are 2 wins.
Yes.
And then at Wisconsin, I think Wisconsin's still bad, so give me a win there.
Yes.
All right. Calculate.
Calculating.
29 opponents here. I took 7 losses, 22-7. You took 5 losses, 24-5.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 22-7 for me, 24-5 for you. So you're slightly higher on the women's team.
So it means it sounds like it's going to be 23-6.
Yeah, which is
the Hawks Eye View official over under. The total is 23 wins.
Yeah, it's going to be a good year. I think the women's team has the potential to make a run if Addie Deal starts to really feel it, and Emily Rodriguez is going to be a huge part of the team, but also Hayden Hayes. It's going to have to be a lot of development by the younger players, I think, if they're going to make a serious run at the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
But I do think there's good pieces in place, but it'll be interesting how the younger pieces kind of develop.
Sure.
So.
And we still got Hannah Stolke.
Yeah, and Kylie Feuerbach and Taylor McCabe are still around. So we've got some pieces. And Stremlo showed good flashes last year.
Yeah.
Chit Chat Wright, the point guard from probably will be.
Right.
That's going to be our starting point guard. So get ready to learn Chit Chat Wright because that's our starting point guard.
What a great name.
Yeah. I might give him a few more wins just based on that name alone. No, it's going to be a good year inside of Carver for both basketball teams. I feel it. I think both teams are going to be very competitive. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun this year as fans, I think.
Yeah.
So, Drew, anything before we sign off? Call it a night.
Football prediction.
Oh, wow. Almost forgot. 23-17 Iowa. I don't know why it comes to my mind that way, but 23-17 Iowa.
Mine's 17-16 Iowa at the gun. Drew Stevens. Another Penn State walk-off field goal.
I would absolutely love that. I like your prediction. I don't like it from my heart, but I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll have to be strapped to my seat, my couch.
There you go.
But yeah, big week in college football. Hawks are part of it. We'll be back next week. I think we need to probably do our full women's basketball preview because we gave the men their whole thing. So we need to probably come back next week and do the women's basketball team before the season kicks off there.
Okay.
Or maybe we can slide it into the next football bye week which I think is after the Minnesota game.
Wherever you want to do it, man, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but hopefully we're coming back next week with a win over Penn State. So have a great night, all, and thank you for listening. As always, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Talking football, talking hoops, every sport in between. IOWA, yeah, you know what I mean. From a Hawks eye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands we shine. The best in the game, yeah, the state